Big things happening, folks. Like I said they would. Military is mobilizing right now, and there's a lot more to the story than what you're being told. I'll tell you that right now. As we saw John Bolton's house get raided, more raids are coming. September, October, November, explosive. December, even more explosive. This is going to escalate. You're not going to believe your eyes. What's coming. Now, everyone knows, everyone feels it, everyone sees the writing on the wall. You got Bill Maher, you got all the liberals, you got Oprah Winfrey wanting to leave the country. Folks, they know what's coming. They feel the heat on their ass. I got Bo Pony today. I got Bo Pony coming on today, folks. This is going to be one hell of a show. I'm leaving to Washington, D.C. I'll take some footage while I'm there. I'll record some of the National Guard. I'll walk around, take a little stroll. I don't think the last time I've been in Washington, D.C. was when I was a kid. I hardly remember it, but I'll be in Washington, D.C., and I'm going on the Timcast podcast, so that should be pretty cool. I'll document some of it. I'll have some of the footage on my Instagram, which is David Nino Rodriguez, David Nino Rodriguez Boxer, and Nino's Corner. I have two Instagrams, so Nino's Corner.tv and David Nino Rodriguez Boxer. So that's going to be a fun time going on the Timcast podcast. I'm a big fan of his. I think he covers everything just unbelievably well. So that's going to be fun. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about, but it's going to be pretty cool. Hit the notifications button, folks. Hit the notifications button. Like, love it, subscribe. There should be a love button. There should be a love button, Mr. David. Don't you want to hit the love button? Also, Venmo, D-Rod, D-Rod 1977, D-Rod 1977. Like I said, folks, and not like what I've said, but like the boards have said, military is the only way, and we're watching that play out right now. You don't look like much of a conspiracy theorist anymore. I bet your friends are starting to hit you up, I don't know, right about now and say, man, maybe you were right. This is getting kind of weird. They're just snatching up homeless people, and I don't know, they're cleaning up the streets. They're doing this to prepare for this, folks, okay? Because they know shit's going to get out of hand. But I don't know. I think it's going to be well neutralized. I don't think it's going to be as bad as it would have been what they were counting on, because once people like Hillary and Obama and all them get picked up, if you think what they did for George Floyd was bad, but let's see how bad this gets. I think it's going to be pretty well buffered and neutralized because the troops are already coming in. They're already coming in. When the lights go out on Amazon, go out. They're back on. Hey, yo. So when the lights go out on Amazon, also, folks, that's on Amazon. And then my mama's book, The Mexican Mix. That's my mama's book. Please leave an honest review. Folks, get your trim with Nino. Let me knock this out real quick. A recent study found nearly half of patients following popular weight loss trends quit within a year. Quitters often used lower than prescribed doses and ultimately lost less weight than they were led to believe. This is why I use this secret, amazing new product, and I'm obsessed with the results. It is designed to naturally support my body's own GLP-1 production and boost levels by over 50%, and it does do that. Without drugs, prescriptions, or needles, it promotes safety and feelings of fullness, reduces cravings, reduces my hunger hormones, helps me lose fat instead of muscle, and supports healthy blood sugar levels. Summer is here, but it's fading fast. We're going into fall, which is going to be very explosive. It's time to get that beach body ready. Grab yourself a bottle of GLP-1 now and save up to 44% at trimwithnino.com. Plus, you'll get a free ebooks titled The 3-Week Diet and 53 fat-burning smoothies and milkshakes. I take it all. Everything I peddle here, I take. Also, folks, X is Nino Boxer. PatriotWear.com right there. Nino's Corner.tv is absolute fire. Absolute fire. I got Trader Girl Q up there right now talking about the Golden Gate Bridge, Statue of Liberty, 17 days that we're coming into the fall. what she believes is going to happen. Hey, folks, I lay it out for you all to play it out. But it's very interesting. It's very, very interesting what she's bringing to the table here. So go watch Trader Girl Q on ninoscorner.tv. I also got Dr. Peter McCullough talking about this. Man, he's got some remedies, how to detox. Dr. Kirk Moore is on there as well. I got the Ghost on there. Wano Saban's coming back on pretty soon. He's in Africa right now. He's in Africa in the Congo. Also, Jerome Corsi will be the general in the general's tent. That's going to be 5 p.m. August 28th. August 28th, Jerome Corsi. Sheila Holm is going up tonight or tomorrow morning. I'll be flying all day today. Also, folks, September 1st, because of the traveling arrangements, because we're going to Washington, D.C., Ringside with Nino will be September 1st, Monday. I'll try to take as much footage as I can while I'm there. It's a pretty big podcast with Tim Cast, so very nice to do, and I feel very honored to do it. So I heard he likes to skateboard, so I hope he doesn't try to put my big ass on a skateboard and I break my ass. I've already broken my back once. I don't need to get on the skateboard. Sancho does not like to do that. So Trump is signing some executive orders right now. This is pretty crazy. I would say this is being used to get ready for some arrests. A ban on no cash bail. A ban on no cash bail. You know what that means? Bail bondsman, bing, you're out of business. Bail bondsman out of business. Folks, he's cleaning things up. I mean, it's not going to pay to be a criminal anymore. I can tell you that right now. No more cash on bail. Ban on no cash bail. Wow, what does that mean for criminals? You're going to be stuck in prison. That's what that means. So, like I said, folks, with what's coming, this is not going to retort back. It's not going to go back to the way the Democrats had it. This is it. It's over. We're cleaning things up. The cure has got to be greater than the disease. I'm hearing white vans are pulling over, grabbing homeless people, sending them to encampments. Look, man, it's like this. You got to clean up your act. Right now, more than ever, take it from me. I was an addict. I was a drunkard. I was a whoremonger. I did it all. But there comes a time when you have to put those things away and clean up, man. And everyone has their own rock bottom. And if this is not forcing you to get better, I want to be humanitarian and say, yeah, take them water, get them rehydrated, get them clean needles. I understand that. I get that perspective, but you never get better doing that. You just enable them. And why should your kids have to see that? Why should you have to step over feces every day? Step over a hypodermic needle on the street that might stab you in the leg or in the foot, or be threatened with crime, or someone crazy talking shit coming up and hitting your mom or your grandma or your niece, your daughters, whatever. You shouldn't have to live in fear. And that's what was being imposed on us. And Trump is cleaning it up. Now, I said that I'm watching this to the pendulum swings really far left. I don't want it to go really far right. But there comes a point when you have to clean shit up, and that's what's happening. That's what's happening right now. It's the cleanup. The cure has to be greater than the disease. Now, for 5 years, I've been talking about this is coming. The boomerang is coming. I've been documented. I'm time-stamped 5 years ago talking about this. Really the only podcaster I know. I've had Juan on for podcasting, and there's been other personalities that have had him on, but been able to stay on FluffTube is me. And I got to say, for 5 years, I've been talking about this. The boomerang is coming, and it's coming hard. Now, I've also said I'm also going to watch how far right that boomerang goes. He also signed an executive order that you can't burn flags. I don't know how I feel about that. As much as I'm against it, I don't like to see it. It's also a freedom of speech in my mind. I'm thinking, wait a minute, you're right. If you want to burn a flag, in my mind, I'm like, I'm not for it. I don't do it. I would never want to see that. But it's still freedom of expression in America. Am I right in saying that? I think that's a step too far, in my opinion. Now, like I said, I'm not for it at all. I am not for it. But you have a right to be a you can be a all you want. Going to be real interesting, this no cash bail, a ban on no cash bail, meaning if you get arrested, you can't get bail. No cash bail. Bail bondsmen are out of the equation now. Pretty crazy, right? See what he's setting up? He's setting up all the chess pieces, folks. And fall is going to be explosive. And I'm going to bring Bo Pony on to talk about this. But first, you might want to turn it down or turn it up. Why don't you turn it up? Let's all turn it up together. All right, here we go. Coming at you live from the apocalypse, folks. Yeah. Oh. You like my little voice? Oh, here we go. All right, so military on the move. 1,700 troops mobilized. Fall is going to be guaranteed to be explosive, let me tell you that much. Now, I don't know when in fall. I've heard September. I've heard October. We all hear October. I'm going to say October, November, but September, it's definitely going to begin. Obviously, you'll be seeing military on the streets. Remember, military is the only way. Military, Trump mobilizing up to 1,700 National Guard troops in 19 states to widen crime and immigration crackdown. Well, yeah. Yeah, that's what they say. You know who's going to be activated for such a time as this? Certain cells in America, immigrants that are here illegally, that aren't necessarily from down south. They can be from all over the world that will be activated for such a time as now. So he's getting ahead of the ball here. So when these things happen, it doesn't get bigger than it should. So, all right, Black Sheep family, I believe the chess pieces are being positioned. Not only did John Bolton's residence get raided and Tulsi Gabbard purge somewhere around 37 upper personnel in the intelligence agencies, we now have Trump mobilizing 1,700 National Guard, which is going to grow. It's going to grow. National Guard in 19 states for a faster response to fight crime and clean up cities. So they're going to be on deck. Chicago itself is looking at about 2,000, around that age, a few thousand actually, National Guard troops to be there sent alone. Let's not also forget that just about anyone now can join ICE. If you want a job, serve your country, serve ICE. You can get a $50,000 bonus. You could be 60, 65, 70. I guess you just have to pass the physical requirements. So I don't know what that entails, but it sounds to me like they're ready to take on anybody. And if you're bored, get off your ass. Go join ICE. Let's all get together and catch some mojados. It kind of looking more and more like Trump's creating a domestic military to go against crime, protest riots, and be activated when the shit hits the fan. This is preparation, what you're watching right here. All of this is preparation, folks. What you're seeing right now is a man put the chess pieces in certain positions. This is strategy because he knows what's coming. I hope I make sense here. So if I make sense, please, put a thumbs up, like the video, and share, because I'm trying to put it out there for everybody that this is coming. It's coming, okay? All right, so the media has now, in fact, even put a 15-person hit list together for Trump's retribution campaign. I call it the Justice Campaign, but they're calling it retribution. It's the retribution campaign. He's crazy. You even got Bill Maher saying, sounding the alarm bells. This guy's crazy. Yeah, you would say that, wouldn't you? Because it's your turn. Tag, you're it. Tucker Carlson posts Oprah Winfrey has announced she's leaving America. I can't live here anymore. I can't live here for the next 4 years. Okay, don't let the door hit you in the ass. I think we've all seen that video of her sitting there with an ankle monitor on. Haven't we all seen that video? Yeah, I remember that video. Also, folks, there's been quite a few celebrities saying that they're going to leave. Nicole Kidman's another one. I think they're scared. Jimmy Kimmel, I think we can expect his show to get terminated pretty damn soon. The cleanup is going to be extensive, as I've always said for the last 5 years. It's going to be extensive. I think people are starting to see it now, aren't they? I think it's finally time. Seeing a lot of these podcasters like, I think arrests are coming. It's starting. Where were you 5 years ago? 4 years ago? 3 years ago? 2 years ago? 1 year ago? A couple months ago? Nowhere to be found. Crickets. I was the only one crazy enough sounding the alarm. I put because it's psychic, David. David, because you're psychic, okay? I think it's because you're psychic. How does he know these things? Regarding John Bolton, Fox News is reporting that the FBI is charging John Bolton with using his private server to email classified material. SpaghettiOs. How many of you remember that commercial? So on Friday morning, the FBI reportedly conducted a raid on the residence of John Bolton, a former national security advisor to Donald Trump, who became one of his harshest critics. According to the press, who cited an anonymous source, the federal search of Bolton's home in Washington, D.C. area was conducted as part of an inquiry into the handling of secret documents. They must be blown away. I bet you they cannot believe that this is happening to them now, huh? You know that they're sitting there going, this is our reality now. We can't sleep at night. We have nowhere to run. We can't leave the country. And I think these checkpoints that are being put up in D.C. and all over, they're going to be all over. So you better get used to them for a while. Are going to be for flight risks. So there's a few names: Miles Taylor, Christopher Krebs, Letitia James, Aaron Zelinsky, Andrew Weissman, Bill and Hillary Clinton, Ghislaine Maxwell, no surprise there, James Comey, Robert Mueller, Loretta Lynch, Eric Holder, William Barr, Jeff Sessions, Alberto Gonzalez, and Merrick Garland. All could be getting raided very soon. And I think there's a lot more than that coming. Trump mobilizing up to 1,700 National Guard. The Trump administration reportedly plans to mobilize up to 1,700 National Guard troops across 19 states in the coming weeks. Gee, who said this was going to happen? Right here, Nino'sCorner.tv. If you're there, you're ahead of the ball. To support its immigration and anti-crime crackdowns, a dramatic expansion of the controversial operation that has seen federal agents and Guard troops carrying out activities across Washington, D.C. The troops, who will largely be activated across Republican-controlled states, will serve in support of the administration's immigration and customs enforcement operations. Oh, much more than that. And, yeah. So the guardsmen assisting ICE will be carrying out tasks that may include personal data collection, fingerprinting, DNA swabbing, and photographing of personnel in ICE custody, an official told outlet. The deployments will take place across the following states. Here they are: Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Louisiana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Mexico, Ohio, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas. Texas is on there. Utah, Virginia, Wyoming, and more states. More states could be coming. There's no emergency. Pritzker responds to reports Pentagon plans military deployment to Chicago. A Washington Post report says the Pentagon has been planning a September deployment of several thousand National Guard members to Chicago, though no official request has been made to Illinois. Governor J.B. Pritzker strongly rejected the idea, accusing former President Donald Trump of politicizing the military and vowing to protect Illinois' sovereignty and residents. It's not going to matter. They're preparing for something, folks. I think the writing is on the wall. The writing's on the wall. I think you all can see that we're preparing for something. Maybe some kind of big event. That's why I had Trader Girl Q on Nino'sCorner.tv. She really, man, She can really decode the matrix, man. If she's right, I think she's in the sphere. I think, when you say dates or times and things like that, obviously nobody's ever really right. I got Bo Pony though. Bo Pony coming on talking about that. He's been over the target a few times with that. But when you say dates and times, she said something could have happened last night, didn't happen. But I think we are in that window of time, and I know you all agree with me. So Pentagon is planning a military deployment to Chicago for weeks. It could include mobilizing a few thousand members of the National Guard in September. Pritzker said in a statement, the state of Illinois at this time has received no requests or outreach from the federal government asking if we need assistance, and we have made no requests for federal intervention. Tough shit. It's going to come anyway. Oh, boy. Stay out of our city. Chicago officials slammed Trump's threat to target city and next crime crackdown. President Donald Trump on Friday said Chicago will likely be the next target. So it's coming. And who's from Chicago? Yeah, who's from Chicago, folks? Put it in the chat. You all know who's from Chicago. That's why it's so important, in my opinion. All roads lead to who? Yeah, you know who. All right, let's bring Bo Pony on, folks. I won't make you wait any longer. Bo Pony. Bo, how you doing?
Nino, thanks for having me back. God bless you, brother.
Yeah, sorry for keeping you waiting.
Well, I'll say this. Listening to you in the back channels here, a couple points, I want to bring up. Number one is, everything that Trump is doing, unfortunately, he's not going to be able to fix the problem. And the reason I'm saying this is, and God has put him there. He's got an anointing and an appointment to be, in his position right now. God has placed him there. But this is a worldwide problem. Okay, as much as what's going on in America here, I'm sure many will agree that are listening. You can fix America, but this is a global swamp. It is a worldwide syndicate that has been going on around for centuries, for thousands of years. And when you understand that, as great as as a leader, as everything that he's doing right now, and you can keep watching all the news. But ultimately, to be honest with you, Nino, as fun as it is to watch the news, because it really is, it's all these events are going on, but behind the scenes, God's got a bigger plan. And I guess I'll say this: if we were all living at a time of like the Great Flood, okay, do you think that the giants and all the people that were on the earth know that the Great Flood was coming? No. Because it was only Noah and his family that actually, it was only Noah that even believed it was going to happen. Everybody else was partying and celebrating. Okay. And then suddenly God. Boom. So this is the point. And then suddenly God. Think about what happened at the Red Sea. Okay. Pharaoh literally went into the Red Sea, whether he took his entire army into the Red Sea with such pride and arrogance, because he knew he was going to kill Israel. But then God showed up and actually turned the tables and everything flipped. So what I'm saying is, as much as it is interesting to watch, the events going on in our world, understand this is all a setup for the greatest chess move in human history. God made the game of chess. He is the master mathematician, and he is the master chess player. And Trump is extremely good at what he's doing. So I would agree with you. And then God supersedes it all. Go ahead,
You know what's pretty crazy is that, even in this article here that I'm going to read, President Trump launches federal task force to ensure incredible and secure LA 2028 Olympics. So he's making it look like he's doing this all for the Olympics or for this reason, to clean up crime. But we all know what's coming, and I think a war's coming. I think something really big is coming, explosive. I think fall's going to kick it off, and I think we're all going to be just amazed at what's going to play out. And he's setting his chess pieces in order right now for what's coming. And I know you're going to talk about that, Bo. But I believe, are you in agreement with me? September, October, November, December, just explosive, one month after another, explosive?
I would say this. I would agree with you, and I'll give you the time window, like a general time window that I'm looking at for 2025. Okay. I would agree with you 1,000% of what you're saying about September. I think the triggering event, and I believe September is going to bring if you want to pop the screen up, September is going to bring a 9/11 worldwide event.
Damn.
It'll be a 24-hour window that'll be global. It'll be like what happened with 9/11, but it'll be a worldwide 9/11. No one in the world is going to miss it. It'll take exactly 24 hours. And after this event, the world will never be the same. Go ahead.
This would be, if it's worldwide, it would have to be banks that go down, right? That's what I'm thinking. Financial system.
Well, it'll be tied with this. But again, we have spoken about an angel of death moment. We have spoken about, again, see, what we're waiting for is an act of God. God is not going to reveal the exact day and hour he's going to strike, but there are ways we can calculate, just like we did, we did the podcast in January, February, March, and we continually said, watch April 21, okay? And those that have watched Nino's Corner, I don't want the glory for it, but the date nailed it to the exact day with the death of the Pope and the resignation of Klaus Schwab. Why I bring that up is because I said that was going to be a marker in time. Just like what happened with oil crashing. Remember, these are 5 years is a window of grace. Okay, so 5 years earlier, exact day, oil plunged to negative $38 a barrel. Okay, this is a factual statement. Anybody can go check this. The crazy thing is it makes no sense because the US dollar is backed by oil. So how can oil go to negative $38 a barrel when it backs the US dollar? Right. It's the strangest anomaly in financial history. God reveals something very clear to me. He said that when I basically hear so clearly, he goes, start the Noah cycle. Okay. So why is that important? Because I'm going to go through the Noah cycle, but it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. But this is key. But the water kept rising, Nino, for 150 days. Okay. And I said, I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is it said, God told me, like very clearly, I said the word count. And so 150 days was September 18th. Well, what happened? Nothing. And then at sunset, this because on the Hebrew clock, it's always the day starts at sunset. So at sunset, Ruth Bader Ginsburg is dead.
Right.
And then that triggered the overturning of Roe v. Wade with Amy coming in. Why I reference that? Because this is the 5-year cycle to that. So with the death of the Pope, so this takes us into September 18th.
My birthday.
2025. Your birthday. You've said
I've also heard 9. September.
Okay,
9th.
now why that's important? Because this is really interesting because it's something I just discovered yesterday.
Well, are you saying that this would have to happen on that day, or will a chain of events happen throughout September?
It's going to be a chain of events. Yeah, exactly. Like a chain of events, I think, of how this is going to trigger, of how this is going to start to play out. But I think it's a chain of events, how this all starts to manifest. But what happens is when we look, I'm trying to find one slide here, but what I was trying to say is on the 40-day cycle. So you've got 40 days from the death of the Pope to the exact day, 40 days to the exact day, Trump's greatest tweet. Biden's presidency was a total, he was dead for 4 years. Okay. That was the tweet that went out 40 days and 40 nights from the death of the Pope to the exact day. September 18th is the next key date of events to follow. Because remember, if you talk about in biblical times, remember the 6-day war, it reigned for 6 days. The war was for 6 days and it was ended on the 6th day. And on the 7th day, there was rest. Now it's interesting from September 18th, 2025, from September 18th, 2025, you add 6 days and you get to September 24th. And that September 24th specifically is Rosh Hashanah. So why I make such, important about this is because Elul 25 is September 18th. I'm going to repeat. Let me just say it really clearly. Elul 25 is September 18th. September 18th is your birthday. But we don't know what Elul 25 is, Nino? It's the first day of creation, which means that God would have been done creating on the 6th day, which is the evening of the 23rd into the 24th.
Let me
go ahead.
Yeah. Do you suggest? What do you tell people to do on those days? Just lay low, don't travel. Like, what would you suggest? Because I kind of feel like with what you're saying, I kind of feel it resonating with me. I don't know how my audience feels, but with me, I don't know. I feel it resonating with me like this. I feel something coming, man, and I know there's. And I'm looking
Alex,
at
play the video. Go ahead, Alex. And then this will answer your question because no one knows the right answer, but all I know is that I definitely right around when Rosh Hashanah hits September 22nd through the 24th, I'm hanging at the house on my knees. I'm going to be definitely saying some prayers because something's about to go down. And I don't know the exact day, but just watch this video.
The time for excuses is over. Now is the time for spring. The time for empty talk is over. Now arrives the hour of action.
A very strange thing shall happen in September. Moving into the fall where there shall be a great fall. Fall of the enemies, fall of kings, fall of princes. Watch and see, for God says beginning in September, I will turn everything around, and my people shall see an intervention of a kind that they have never seen before.
You are about to begin the greatest adventure of your life. You came by the tens of millions to become part of a historic movement, the likes of which the world has never seen before. Now we are calling for a great reawakening. When decent people and nations become bystanders to history, the forces of destruction only gather power and strength.
You have been besieged for 7 years, America. You have been surrounded by your eternal enemies. Haters of America have stood up, and I will take the wealth of the wicked and for a season transfer it into the hands of the righteous.
This American carnage stops right here and stops right now.
A day to remember is coming. It is rapidly approaching as the summer is ending. As the summer is ending. This day will change everything, and your life will never be the same. It will be a marker in history, and everything in your life will be different before and after this day.
There should be no fear. We are protected. We will be protected by God. I know that each of you will be a warrior for the truth, will be a warrior for our country and for your family. Our answer will be a rebirth of devotion to defeat the enemies of humanity.
For God said there is a birth taking place, and America is suffering the labor pains. America is suffering the last hours before the birth of this child. It's about to be born. It's about to be born for this nation. A move of my spirit that shall shake the church. Let's shake the gates of the cities. That will shake the gates of the cities. Listen to the word of the Lord. It's about to be born. Your travail must come to an end, says the Lord.
This decade will be the decade that you will never, ever understand how it started out one way and it finishes out to be the greatest decade in human history. And 2025 is going to go down as the year everything changed.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
I got chills.
Prophecy's telling us. Prophecy's telling us, Nino, that all hell breaks loose on or in September. Okay, so when would it happen?
I mean, that's the only reason he's putting these troops out there, Bo.
Yeah, exactly. So he's setting the stage. This is going to lead into martial law. Okay, so this is already prophesied. There will be martial law in the cities in America. Okay, but again, please understand, martial law will be the final thing Trump will need to do to squelch this corruption. Because the martial law, because they're going to throw, like we've said, Nino's corner, right? When you pin, when you pin your enemy into a corner, they're going to come out. We've said it 1,000 times, as Nino says, with everything they got as a final last ditch effort. This is a fight to the death, okay? Because of what they've done, and so this is a fight to the death. God's about to intervene. So that's the thing is you can listen, everybody, you can keep listening to Trump, listen to all his speeches, listen to everything he says. But the problem is that he can't stop a worldwide syndicate. God can. Okay. Right. That's why we're watching. And then where is this in scripture? I'm not making it up. It's Joel 2 verse 31. It says before the great and terrible day of the Lord. Okay. It talks about this. You just watched Kim Clement prophesy about the woman and the dragon. Okay. Understand this happened. This is interesting. September, write this date down, everybody. September 23rd, 2017. Okay, this was in the heavens, written in the book of Revelation 2,000 years ago, which happened on September 23rd, 2017.
I remember that.
So many people are like, hey, I'm going to get raptured. No, you're not. It's a marker in time. Nino, add 8 years, because 8 in the Bible means new beginning. Okay, so add 8 years to September 23rd, 2017. We're here now,
yeah, right now.
This year, this September, okay? So that's what we're stepping into. It's a marker in time that's about to go down. And the scriptures, there's several scriptures I'll give you. This is not my opinion. God's already spoken this. It's Joel verse 2:31. Joel 2:31. It talks about the great and the terrible day of the Lord. It's a 24-hour window. Well, how can it be great and how can it be terrible? People say, well, wait a second. Is it great or is it terrible? Is God confused? No, he's not. Because when God intervenes, it's both. It's great for us, for the church, great for those who have been, for those who've been standing on the word of the Lord, never backing down. It's going to be great for the church, great for everything Nino's been talking about on his podcast, terrible for the enemies of God. Go ahead, Nino.
So I'm just going to read a couple articles here to get through them. Bill Maher sounds alarm on Trump's terrifying, slowly moving coup. Bill Maher warned that President Donald Trump is in charge of a slow-moving coup that will go a lot smoother than the last one. Maher, I don't know if you all like Bill Maher or not. Join the journalists Frank Bruni, neuroscientist Andrew Huberman, and the conservative activist Christopher Rufo ripped into liberals for being too sensitive on Friday's broadcast of Real Time with Bill Maher. See, they're all seeing this writing on the wall, and they're saying, oh, no, look what's happening. So they all see this coming. So Bill Maher cautioned Democrats should be focusing their energies on stopping Trump, his slow-moving coup, which could shut liberals out from running for federal government as Trump consolidates Republican power. So, everybody's seeing this coming, Bo. Everybody is seeing this. What's your thoughts on that? I mean, they see the writing on the wall, right?
Alex,
right,
yes, absolutely. Alex, cue up video 70 because right now we're here at the Book of Enoch. You keep saying the word they. So I want to play this video because I want the viewers to understand who they are. These are demonic entities. Okay, so again, this is all in the Book of Enoch. I'm not making this up. Please go read your Book of Enoch. I've actually referenced this several times. And in the Book of Enoch, it talks about, we said the Watchers. They were watching humanity. Then they're like, wow, women are beautiful. So they came down to earth. They made a pact amongst themselves to take the women as brides. And next thing you know, you have giants on this earth, which are Nephilim. Watch the video of who these Nephilim are because they're dead after what happened with Noah and the great flood. But the spirits that were inside of them are now occupying these politicians. Oprah Winfrey, all these people that want to flee America. So to answer your question, the reason they want to flee because they know God's about to do something. So they need to get out of America because they can't stop God. So they're fleeing. Does that make sense, Nino? God's about to intervene, so they're trying to get the heck out of America because they know what's about. There's something they feel in their heart.
Yeah, this is
getting really ugly. Really fast.
Already left. Ellen DeGeneres already left. They're leaving.
Because these people willingly accepted demonic entities, these Nephilim spirits, into them, and because of that, they are demonically possessed. Play the video. This is crazy.
Book of Enoch reveals that mothers passed away giving birth to babies so massive they tore through human bodies. Yet these scary infants looked completely angelic and innocent. Most people think bigger means stronger, but these Nephilim developed beyond physical size into something that terrified their own angelic fathers. Their sweet baby faces began changing in ways that defied nature itself. Mothers noticed their children's eyes first, then their smiles, Then the sounds they made when they got excited. What these innocent-looking giants transformed into made their own creators regret ever touching human women. Their massive appetites had consumed every source of food on Earth, and their hunger was driving them toward an unthinkable solution. Every grain store was empty. Every herd of cattle was gone. Every farm had been stripped bare. These giants had consumed every source of food in the known world, but their otherworldly hunger still burned inside them like fire. Their enormous bodies needed more food than the earth could ever produce. Normal meals were like tiny snacks to beings who stood 450 feet tall. They had eaten so much that entire regions became wastelands with nothing left to harvest. Then the first Nephilim made a choice that changed everything. He looked at a human, not as family, but as his next meal. In that moment, these giants crossed the final line from troublesome big kids into pure evil monsters.
I mean, they found the bones. They have found the bones. They've been well hidden.
Yep. And so understand, so the Nephilim are dead. Crazy, Nino. Some of these, because remember, if you understand what angels are, some angels are our size, and some angels are hundreds of feet tall. So it depends on which. There's so many different sizes of angels. So when the tall angels had sex with the women, these you're talking 400 or 500 foot giants. Cue up that video on the salt if you can, Alex. This is the crazy part. Nino, how many people that listen to this podcast? You know, your new thing. Everybody, a lot of people out there are buying Himalayan salt. Nino, have you ever tried the Pink's Himalayan salt? Play this video. This is crazy because you don't even know what you're eating. This is the wildest stuff about humanity, how they just lie about everything. And remember these giants, they are the size of mountains. Go ahead and play.
Some people in Northern Europe were surprised when they found a very strange rock. I don't know what kind of stone it is, but its color is very similar to flesh and blood. Legend has it that it is the flesh of petrified giants. Because it was not suitable to exist in the New Age, God destroyed them, and they turned to stone. Not only that, people also discovered rocks with strange shapes, such as human faces and bodies. The mountains look like human muscles.
And these pink salt mines and these flesh-looking stones are part of their bodies harvested from the earth. And for us to deny the similarities that this was once.
That literally looks like a meat. Wow.
Whoa.
Oh my God. This is exactly how a proper pork chop looks like. Like, look at this stuff, man. This is like the muscle, and then there's like perfect fat area that just adds in. And just take a look at what an actual meat would look like. And this is what they found out in the Himalayan salt that we are. And this is what they found out once they cut down these mountains. They actually look exactly like the meat itself.
By layer the truth.
That is insane.
That is crazy. That is crazy. You just blew my. That's petrified wood. Why not petrified giants?
Well,
so you're saying that's where we get Himalayan salt?
Yes, you're eating
Himalayan
giant
salt.
meat. You're eating the So remember the story of Lot. So God has the ability, because we've learned through the story of Lot when they're fleeing on Sodom and Gomorrah. So Lot and his family, his wife, are fleeing Sodom and Gomorrah, and the angels specifically say to Lot and his family, "Do not turn back and look backwards." And the wife turned backwards, and she turned into a pillar of
salt. Yeah,
salt.
Wow. All right, folks. In border news, Kilmer Abrego Garcia faces deportation to where? Uganda. Uganda? Are you kidding me? After the release from the Tennessee jail. So Kilmer Garcia faces deportation to Uganda less than 24 hours after his release from the Tennessee jail, according to Saturday court filing. Cheers and smiles marked Abrego Garcia's reunion with his family after 160 days apart. Today is such a special day because after 160 days, I'm able to see my family again, Garcia said Friday to an interpreter. However, the joy was short-lived as immigration officials informed his attorneys that he would be deported to Uganda shortly after his release from Putnam County, Tennessee jail. Oh boy, see you later. You better pick up their language. All right. So, ICE deports dangerous criminal immigrant wanted in Mexico with links to El Chapo. Los Angeles ICE officers in Phoenix and Nogales deported prominent Mexican boxer. Oh, this is and criminal illegal Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. August 18th, though Arizona's Nogales port of entry. Chavez was found living in Los Angeles and arrested July 3rd. This is crazy. They're getting everybody. Chavez is known egregious public safety threat who had an active arrest warrant in Mexico for his involvement in organized crime and trafficking firearms, ammunition, and explosives, and should never have been allowed in the United States. Man, they mean business. They mean business. They're going after everybody. You see, Bo, the no cash bail, a ban on no cash bail. Don't you believe that's setting up for the arrests?
Yeah, it's all of this is about a takedown. If you read, in terms of scriptures, it says they fall. Actually, prophecy is they fall and fall. A very strange thing will happen in September, moving into the fall. And the prophecy goes on. Fall of kings, fall of princes, watch and see. Beginning in September, meaning God, will begin to turn everything around. So again, like you said, if this is a starting point, in the prophecy was also, on this day, this 24 hours, this 9/11 day, everything will change. It'll be you look at life as before or like up to this date and everything after this date. Now, this is interesting too. So remember we talked about it's 150 days. That was 5 years ago, would mark the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Okay. And that was on Rosh Hashanah. That was September 18th, the year 2020. Now, if we run the Noah's Ark cycle, which we ran here, okay, so death of the Pope, 150 days takes us to precisely September 18th. Nino, this is incredible, okay? So you've got, I'm going to read this here, but basically the United Nations, this was, anybody want to confirm? The scan is right here. You're welcome to take your phones. I'll confirm this, okay? But this is a factual statement that happened last September on the 18th. So last September 18th, 2024, the United Nations on September 18th, with this is, remember, the death of the Pope, 421. Right. Well, now reverse that, 124. How is this happening? Okay, so if you reverse 420, you get 124. So, and I've always said these are key numbers. 124, 124 yes votes. They demand that within 12 months, Israel return all the land, everything it got in the war of 1967.
The 6-Day War.
The 6-Day War. They're demanding Jerusalem be returned, everything be returned. In other words, there is no way in HELL that God is ever going to allow Israel to give up its land, okay? So what's about to happen is this is a huge, basically, they demanded this be done within 12 months, which is the same date, September 18th.
Isn't Putin removing Russian personnel out of Israel or something? They're preparing something with Israel, aren't they, Russia?
I don't know. I'm not
Maybe
I'm
my
not
audience
keeping up on that.
I glazed over something. Maybe somebody put it in the chat.
So yeah, it could, maybe somebody knows. I don't know about that.
Something's going on with Russia and Israel. I was not able to read all of it, but someone put it in the chat, please.
So so back to what and I were talking about, and so September is a marker because the fact that Israel's never going to give up the land, but the United Nations is demanding this within 12 months. Okay,
wow.
The day before that,
and that lands in September, Bo.
Yeah, September 18th. They demand within 12 months. So 12 months of September 18th, 2024 is September 18th, 2025, which is exactly 150 days to the exact day from the death of the Pope. And 150 days, to tell you, this is scripture. This is Genesis 7, verse 24. The water kept rising for 150 days to wipe out all the Nephilim. So we're in the 100. So September is a very important marker, which then leads into the fall of kings, fall of princes in the month of October into November. And then, like I was saying, by the end of the year, we're going to have the greatest celebrations we've ever seen because everything has been exposed. And I'm telling you, the wars will suddenly come to an end by the end of this year, possibly September into October. But all of this is about to end because I've even had a war cycle here because remember, it shall be for a time, times and a half time, if I can find the slide, but 3.5 years from the Russia war specifically is this September. So here's the Russia-Ukraine war. It ends on September 21 per calculations. 3.5 years, it's over by the 21st of September, which is, remember, a very strange thing will happen in September, moving into the fall. Fall is September 22nd. Okay, so again, I'm giving everybody important dates. And then lastly, we want to look at here is September 22nd, specifically the 22nd starts Rosh Hashanah. If God's going to do something, Nino, he's going to move on his feast. Okay?
Right. Yeah,
his
obviously.
feasts are his next feast. This starts September 22nd through the 24th, but specifically it ends on the 24th, Rosh Hashanah. This is the wild part, okay? So the calendar that was used when Jesus Christ walked on the earth, Nino, the calendar was the Julian calendar. September 24th on the Julian calendar is 9/11.
Okay. So something big could happen on the 24th.
I'm just telling you, there's September 24th for
The
whatever
whole month
reason.
of September, really.
A whole month, yeah, but basically it's just going to be it's going to be the water boiling. It's going to be the water heating up until and remember the prophecy for summer, it's going to be really uncomfortable then, but this is, it's heating up. And then we're stepping into a time point that God's going to intervene. And I still believe, I know for a fact, it will be an angel of death moment. Will it be in September? Will it be in October? Again, God's not going to reveal the final kill strike on this.
I think it keeps escalating. I think
it keeps escalating, but then ultimately, you have to understand, okay? You got to go back. Everybody, please read your Bible. It's not about what I think. It's about what happened in history. Ecclesiastes states very clearly, that which has been will be again. There is nothing new under the sun. And what happened to cause Israel to be freed from the grips of Pharaoh after 400 years? It was the angel of death that showed up. It involved death. I'm telling you, the angel of death through 5 prophets has been stated to be on this earth. We don't know when he's going to strike, okay? We've stated many times that there will be a strike. It will be millions dead or gone overnight. And these will be the enemies of God. And who are these people, okay? So when God strikes, the video you watched about the Nephilim, okay, the bodies are dead. They're turned into these massive mountains now, the big ones at least, okay? And if you've been eating Himalayan salt, you've been eating the muscles of the giants, okay?
Allegedly.
And well, allegedly, yeah, let's just say allegedly, but
YouTube.
Just because this is on YouTube, so allegedly you've been doing that.
I got to wrap up because I know
wrap it. You're going to wrap it up here. I'm going to finish with the last comment here, and then with all of that said, there's got to be a moment in time where God steps in and changes the course of history, and it always starts. The freedom from bondage historically has come with an angel of death moment. Play the video. Go ahead and we'll wrap it up.
So, where are we on the countdown to the reverse rapture? We are in the final seconds.
He said, I am going to loose a destroying angel. This is a physical event that's going to take place prophetically in the earth.
The death angel has been released in the earth, and soon you will see the tares separated from my wheat. The tares will be gone as the death angel moves along. There will be an and suddenly moment, and all will know that I am the great God Jehovah, the creator of all heaven and earth.
And the Lord said, I'm going to send a destroying angel to the United States of America and to other nations. Judgment is going to begin in the house of the Lord. But he said it's not going to stay there. It's going to hit the political realm, the media realm, the Hollywood realm, the sports realm, the entertainment realm, and everything that has sub God, stood and looked at God and told God, we don't bow down. God said, watch me. This is when we're going to see dead bodies in the streets. This is a sovereign event. The harvest that's coming is of such magnitude. We've been hearing a lot about this, that God is going to release money to the church.
Yes, the wealth transfer is right on your doorstep and will soon be in your pocketbook.
The parallels here are very unique. As soon as God judged Egypt, he took their money and he gave it to his people. God is going to take wealth and release it to the body of Christ to finance the last move of God. We are in the most unique time that we've ever seen.
It is time, and be ready as you can. My heaven will open, and I will pour out more blessings when the tares are gone and the death angel has completed his mission. I told you to read the book of Enoch, and you know of the Nephilim, and soon they will be gone. They are all among you, and many you know. Some are famous, some celebrities, and many in government. The death angel is here, moving them out. My power and might will be seen. So sit back, my kids, and be ready. The show will start soon, and everything will change now. Fear not, my death angel. He is not coming for you. He is moving for the Nephilim, and they will be bound and not return.
We are going to see some kind of event take place in our nation that's going to forever change the trajectory of how people conduct life.
All of my true prophets have been warning of this historical day in the way that I have given them. I have laid it all out except the exact date, and only those with great wisdom have calculated the day. Yes, my child, it can be calculated, but you have to know which calculations to do, and that is a mystery and a secret that I only share with a few. You will see one in a day or two.
Lazarus is the representation of America. America is about to die. The death moment will be potentially 3 to 4 days of darkness.
Wow.
That'll tie in. That'll tie in with martial law and things that you're talking about, Nino.
All right, well, hold on. Let's hear some super chats. We got some super chats coming in, at least a few of them. Let freedom ring. Thank you so much, Travel. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Lucia Robertson, thank you much. A super sticker, thank you. PJ Warden, no question, just sending love to Nino and Bo. And wonderful mods, Harbor S and Gray Eyed Jewel. Thank you.
Amen.
Amen. Draconus 999. I get the sense that Minnesota will be hit hard leading to this event. Why else have so many things hit here? I'm hearing a lot of cities, but mainly the Democratic hellholes. You're right. Let's see. What else? Is that it? All right, folks. And Bo, you want to stick around for what the fuck news?
Okay. I just want to, the last thing is people don't freak out of what's about to happen. Okay. You know, through Nino, through myself, through prophecy, we are warning you what's coming. Okay. So when it comes, fear not. And then people will be reaching out to you. All the viewers of Nino's channel will be reaching out to you, to the viewers watching. Hey, what's going on? They're going to want to know. So that's why we're doing these, so you can warn and inform those, because this is a one-time event that God has planned for thousands of years. There will never be another day like it.
And in what the fuck news, Missouri woman known as Camel Toe Teacher has been arrested for having a sexual relationship with a 16-year-old student. See, you all just think it's men, don't you? Nope. Female teachers do this all the time. Sancho should know. The teen's father was also arrested for knowing about the relationship and failing to report it to authorities. Wow, and this happens a lot more than you know, folks. A hell of a lot more. In fact, I would bet every other high school, or at 1 out of every 3 high school, this is happening, and the kids that are boys are not saying, or girls, I guess, are not saying anything. 15, 16-year-old kids with their teachers, gym teachers. This stuff happens, folks. It's crazy. Like I said, Sancho knows firsthand. Bo, thank you so much for joining me.
Absolutely. God bless you. And
God
Alex,
bless
thanks
you.
for all your help too. Great job.
All right, folks. I'll see you next time. I won't be here Wednesday because I'll be flying. So I'll be on the Tim Cast podcast. That's coming up, I believe, Tuesday. It'll be Tuesday live. So I'll be doing some shorts here and there. I'll be doing some lives for my Instagram, showing you Washington, D.C., stuff like that. I'll take my laptop with me. I'll try to knock out some videos when I'm up there. I don't think I'll be able to do the Wednesday morning show because I'll be traveling. So, all right, folks, I'll see you. And the new heavyweight champion of podcasting and the black sheep of broadcasting, baby.